Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hey, I am back today, and I know I'm probably a little late for you guys, but I'm here, and I'm here, okay? Since we were the first two in here, welcome. Good morning, you guys. I missed you too. Y'all, this me. What's up? So, God woke us up a next B-Day. It's 8:42 where I'm at as well. Finally made it this morning. Yes, I'm so happy I was able to make it this morning. Don't get comfortable because you know what I'm saying? I was up at 6:32. Actually, I woke up at 6 and I had woke up at 6, my alarm went off. And I had went to bed maybe 2 hours later than when I originally been trying to go to bed. So, usually I go to bed at y'all can't hear me? Let me see. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me? Can I get some ones if you can hear me? Some twos if you can't? Yes, we can. Yeah, I might have to. We can hear you perfect. Oh. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of you can hear me, so. I had woke up today. You ready? Give me a few minutes.
Alright. I'll make a Juliet mac and cheese and meal.
For breakfast?
She is picky. She don't want oatmeal. She don't want whatever we can't no milk, so she's picky.
Go crazy. Go crazy. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You eat what you may want. So, pause for a minute. 67. What y'all talking about? Okay, so I try makeup artist, makeup routine. Yes, that's why I've been trying to find people to, you know what I'm saying? That's why I made that a tweet to find people for me to follow, because I'll see people's stuff. They don't tell you what it is on their face. And then on top of it, I'll have to find something close to my skin, and I don't know nothing about makeup. So I got to find somebody who okay, we about the same color. Because I'm just what I'm using is working. But I know I really want to switch it up and everything like that. But like I was saying, I woke up, my alarm went off at 6 o'clock today, and y'all, let me tell y'all what I did yesterday for the very first time. For the very first time. So normally, I say my prayer in the morning, and I'm yes, I have my little time to God. But this time, I went ahead, and throughout the day, I had this I had just this heavy feeling on my heart, you know what I'm saying? I had this heavy feeling on my heart, and I feel doubt and everything was coming back in, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking of this, situation, this person, and I reached out for help. And so, with reaching out for help, I was trying to seek some counsel. And so, I reached back out to DC's mom. And I was just telling her, I said, hey, how are you? She was like, I'm good. How are you? And I just went straight into, I said, yes, I can't get this person out of my head. It's weighing on my heart, but it seems like no matter what I do, no matter how many prayers I say, no matter how many times I try to say, you can do it, this person just keeps making me feel as if I'm the bad person, and I'm just and I'm explaining to them, and she's asking me questions well, how do you feel about this person, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just telling her, I'm I was like, I tried to explain and she's like, she ended up telling me like, well, maybe you got to tell this person like how you feel. And I said, well, I've explained it in great detail of how I feel. And I said, when somebody starts treating you a certain way for a very long time and you suck it up because you like, that this person is going through something. But then I noticed that it was draining me more than it was draining the other person. And so I felt real stuck. You know what I'm saying? I felt myself like I kept sending this person messages, but not messages like talk to me. It was just like did you pray today? Like, you know what I'm saying? How you feeling? Like, did you do this? Did you do that? And it seemed like no matter what I was doing, like I just, you know what I'm saying? It's like this person just doesn't understand. It's like they just want me to be the victim in the situation, the enemy. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you that I'm here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to tell you that, like, I didn't abandon you. You know what I'm saying? But people try to, you know what I'm saying? You got people that's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, you. And I'm just like, okay, but what can I do if I'm the one accepting what I did wrong? You know what I'm saying? And what I did wrong was, communicate. What I did wrong was, tell you how I felt. And it seemed like every time I was doing something, oh, you just complaining. And so then I was silent. And then, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm not entertained by you. You know what I'm saying? It's like what do you do with something like that? And I just didn't understand. Do that make sense? So, I'm texting her this, and I'm just like, hey, like, this is how I feel, et cetera, et cetera. And she said, she was just like, well, babe, from the way that it sounds, like, for it to be 3 weeks, for it to be 3 months, or however, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that person can't see that the step you're taking is not, oh, let me go party, be a hot girl, et cetera, then, you know what I'm saying? You chasing God, and that person is not taking the same healthy steps as you. They're just kind of sitting in a room and blaming themselves and saying that the only reason that everything in their life is going wrong is because you made a decision to make yourself and the situation happy. You know what I'm saying? That you had the courage enough to break something that seemed like it was so perfect, or that could have went so far, but that was literally breaking you down from the inside out. And I was sitting there and I'm just like, yeah. She was like, so she sends me this TD Jakes Let Them Walk, right? So I listened to it. It's like a 3-minute clip, and it's actually like way longer. And so it was just pretty much saying, like, when people leave your life, let them go. Like, and it's different. I know, like, if you're the person who left the life, but if people leave your life, even though it was just pretty much, he was saying, like, you shouldn't beg or chase anybody to stay with you, love you, you know what I'm saying, take the growth, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't have to do any of that, forcing yourself to, you know what I'm saying, forcing God on them, And I said, well, what about, well, me, you know what I'm saying, me and her have been friends for a long time, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so then after that, I'm reading the messages, and I'm just like, you know what, you're right. And so I didn't reach back out to this person. I just left it alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I genuinely, like, I left it alone. And later on, I ended up getting a text message that replied back to my message. And, I said, like, if you want to, we can, you know what I'm saying, we can call each other and we can pray with each other on the phone, every day. I send the scriptures, the process that I'm going through, literally every day to this person, because I care so much about the person. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, so I listened to it, and I said, this is what I needed, and I just let it go. So I was just like, it's no need for me to keep chasing after somebody who clearly just, kind of wants to surround themselves, like, in the negative. And I can see that this person wants to take that step, and I'm telling this person, and I'm literally saying, like, what do you lose by giving everything that you are to God? Like, what do you lose? If you feel as if you have lost everything, if you feel like you've lost everything in the whole entire world, and you're so angry at me, I'm just the worst person in the world, but then I'm like, okay, well, do you want me to leave you alone? Because if I'm making your healing process harder, I can remove myself, because the love I have for you, I want you to save your soul. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I want you to save your soul. Y'all, don't be cussing in here. It's okay. Y'all, it's okay. We're not in here. I'm not talking for people to take sides with me. I'm not I really, you know what I'm saying? It just, okay. But, like I was saying, what do you lose from giving everything that you know what I'm saying, that you are to God? And I sat back, and I just realized, like, when this person is ready, and if the God that I know that I serve wants this person in my life, then it's going to make his way. And I can't force that person to take the same progress as me, like, yo, come on, you know? But I just, you know what I'm saying, the best I can do is just be a witness to my siblings, to everybody around me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the best thing that I can do. But the love that I have for the person, I don't have no hate. And I know this person don't have no hate for me. And I know it's kind of just difficult, like when you upset with somebody. It takes everybody healing process a little different before you can go to the stage of being able to talk to this person. And, you know, I tried to break it down. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you know, like, this is for this. And when we get this, it's going to reveal if this was meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we're going to go from there. Like, don't sweat it. Like, but what about all this? What about them? And what about, I said, if it's meant to be, whatever, you know what I'm saying, if this is meant to be however it's supposed to be, however he shows you that my position in your life is supposed to be, and however he shows me how your position is supposed to be, whenever we do that, everything else is going to make sense. I said, you know what I'm saying, you have haters now who don't like you together or not together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so, I'm just kind of taking a break from it, because I just feel like when I wake up and when I go to sleep, like, I know, you know what I'm saying? And I still pray. So when I was having this moment and she sent me all that stuff, I listened to it. I'm outside my balcony, and this is like my second time outside. My first time outside, I just kind of listened to Proverbs. That's what I'm on. I'm on Proverbs right now. And I was just listening to it. And while I was listening to it, I had piqued some questions. You see what I'm saying? And I actually fell asleep outside. And nothing, it's so crazy, because when I fell asleep, I was listening to the Bible, and genuinely nothing bothered me. Like, I was literally asleep in my chair on the balcony. So, and then you're probably like, what? But to me, I was like, wow. Because the second time I went out there, I don't know. But I was listening to Proverbs, and then something dawned on me that, you know, you have DC's mom, you know what I'm saying, and my family, you know, they still healing, and I'm like the one that's like, yeah, I'm finna show y'all. I got this. I'm gonna show y'all how it's going, you know what I'm saying. So I went to, oh my gosh, where did I go? So I went to Facebook, and I had seen people say that, you know, if you wanted to find people to talk to, that But I went to Facebook, and I end up adding some what is it called? Some Facebook groups. Like, I end up adding these Facebook groups about, you know, Christian Facebook groups, and some of them you have to be approved for. And then I typed in questions that I had that I wanted a little bit, you know what I'm saying? What? I don't know what I just read, but it's okay. How did this end up being toxic? Who's Grace? How did this, like, this is why I come to the second page. What happened? How did you find us? I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, how did y'all get over here? Okay, I'm just gonna tell y'all about my day. So, oh, she said, look outside. So, I went to the Facebook groups, I added, and I went to other ones, like I went to Atlanta Moms, Atlanta Businesses, like Mom, what I'm saying? I went to all these different things, what I'm saying? Like Great Listener. They have groups for a lot of stuff, like Atlanta Nannies. I said, it's like 100,000 people in here. Like, I've been looking for a nanny. I've been looking for an assistant. I've been looking for all this stuff, and it's on Facebook. And if you're trying to hire, you just give it a little detail. Boom, boom, shallow, bam. So I'm like, okay. And I end up going on there, and I end up meeting, like, some really nice older women. And I had told them I said, like, how do y'all feel about cursing? Because when I was listening to Proverbs, it had said, and I had, what I'm saying? I'm trying to learn, y'all. I'm really trying to learn. But it said, Proverbs, it made me think about cussing, and then it had reference, the ladies, they had reference Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will hold him guiltless, for taketh his name in vain. So then another lady commented, Matthew 12:34, for the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. But when she sent this to me, she took a pic. This is all like on the page. It's not in DMs. It's all on the page. She took a picture of like the whole little scripture. So I'm not just gonna read the highlighted part. I read the whole entire thing, like what led up to him saying this. And so while I was reading it, 32 through 33 said, anyone who speaks a word against the Son of the Man will be forgiven, but anyone who speaks against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven, either in this age or in the age to come. And I didn't understand. So I said, can you elaborate more? And she gave me her opinion, like pretty much like, I really can't remember, but I'll have to go on my Facebook and it's going to pause. Now that I can read it, so I'm going to have to. You see what I'm saying? So, but that really made me think, and I just really wanted to learn more, and I was just like, I really wanted to just learn more, and then it just made me think, like, so now I gotta break down stuff, because I got so many questions. After you read one thing, you like, it's so much stuff to learn. And so, but when I had my breakdown moment, I came in and I prayed. And when I prayed from the morning time, when I prayed this time, I felt like a nice little release. And then I went and had my little worship time, and I just listened to some gospel music every time I was feeling like, kind of like, what I'm saying, confused a little bit, like just kind of like every time I had a moment of doubt, and I went ahead and listened to my music. I was just screaming in the house, just jamming to my jams. Everybody was telling me to shut up, but when I'm done, I'm done. You see what I'm saying? So you can turn off comments on here. Sis, where? Let me find out. Oh, I can. Oh my goodness. So if I can't even see like if I turn them off, like what can y'all? Wow. Can I do something on my main one? Me just talk, not read no comments, not even accidentally read no comments. Okay, y'all should have been told me this, because if I would have knew that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can talk amongst each other if it's a way for y'all to talk. But to me, if you know what I'm saying, because seeing y'all argue and just, because I'm like, y'all just ignore them. But then they still, you know what I'm saying? And I still didn't see what the girl said, but whatever. But yeah, so I felt really good about that. And I prayed last night before I went to bed. And the crazy thing is, I honestly was about to forget. And when I came in the room after we had watched this movie, I came in the room and Juliet had came and gave me a hug. And I'm like, why are you still up? But good night. And it was only 12 o'clock. But I said, why are you still up? And she said, good night. All right, love you. Say a prayer. And I said, oh my God, why was I really finna forget that? So I went and I said my prayer. I had a very good night. I slept really good. And then I caught myself just like staring out the window. It's dark in my room. I just got this like little slight blue light from my humidifier. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, And so then I go back to my audiobook, the Bible, and I play it, and I just listen, and it kind of just gives me, like, this calmness that I end up, like, becoming sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it just was like, it wasn't like, okay, the Bible makes you sleepy. It was, like, more like a... But I realized yesterday that by taking the steps that I've been taking, I've been getting a very, like, a good response back, like, within myself. Like, I just been getting a good response back. Got a Gmail. I just been getting a really good response back. Somebody who actually has, I don't even know, actually kind of, like, not been in my life, but somebody that I see normally, like, on occasion, I guess. Like, I really don't know, but, I had sent them a message. I said, hey, how are you? Because I seen they had 2 messages to me that I didn't reply to from, like, maybe a couple weeks or so. I really don't know. And I seen them FaceTime me a few times. I just didn't answer because, you know what I'm saying, they be wanting to, But this time I text, and they had texted me right back. And when we was texting, they said, like, how are you? Like, how are you feeling? And I said, I was like, and I don't know what it was. I just said what I was going through because this person had gave me, like, a vibe that they was just, like, just into their word. And so, we're texting back and forth, and I'm just like, like, I just feel like this is that. And he like, nobody, it was a very good conversation. It was like, if you ever want to, have Bible study, we can do that over the phone, or when, Corona clears up, we can do it together, et cetera, et cetera. And then, like, not like, oh, well, it was like literally sending me stuff that, like, you should try this is what I've been doing. And I'm just like, okay, like, I was just so happy. I'm like watching a movie with them, and they like, I'm like, yes, I got, I just said, DC mom, like, girl, we'll come pick you and the baby up. You can come just sit with us for a weekend. I'm like, okay. I'm on my Facebook group, and I'm seeing them talk like, hey, you got the mom group, the business group. You got all these little groups. I'm getting notification. Oh, you got accepted to this group. And I'm like, hey, new mom here. Well, I'm just on there like, well, let me tell y'all about my child's father. Do y'all think I'm wrong for this, to that, and the other? And I had to, like, cause my main thing is that with Daniel's dad, I literally haven't spoke to him personally, and since he's seen Daniel, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks after 2 weeks after I had him. And when I had him, he was there. You know what I'm saying? Just, this whole time I've been talking to his mom. So me and his mom be texting and stuff, but they only come around maybe one every 6 months. So they come around every 1 to 6 months, and I'm just sitting here like, hey, Daniel's birthday. Hey, I'll fly y'all down. And I'm like, am I flying you down and his aunties? And she's like, it'll be me and the dad. And I'm like, okay, he just gonna come down? Like, we haven't even spoke to each other. Mind you, I'm like, I'm reaching out to y'all. I've never asked this woman or her son for anything. Like, I didn't do child support even before I started YouTube, because I just said I didn't need it. Like, no, I don't need that. Like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, taking money from your check going forward does not give my son a father. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this is from your dad. That just don't make sense to me versus, just doing what I've been doing lately to give him the best life that I can. So, recently, I haven't heard from them, and I had like this little moment, recently, that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna text them. And I texted them and I said, hey, how are you guys? I was wondering, is it possible for me to get the information from, like his contact information, and I just would like to talk. And they're like, oh yeah, oh my God, we miss him so much, please send me pictures. They kind of ignored half of the other stuff I said, and I said, So I sent them all these pictures, all these videos, and they're like, we're missing so much. And I'm like, yeah, but he's turning 5. You guys can come down. I know Corona's going on, so never mind. We can set something up where you guys come down, or we can go back up there. I really don't want to go back up there. But we can go back up there and we can set something up. We can start doing FaceTime calls. When are y'all available? Because even if you don't come to the phone, a conversation will help. You know what I'm saying? Tell me about y'all family and y'all stories, and I can tell him, get y'all, And so every time we talk, they want to take him for the whole summer. How can you not see somebody, or in total only see somebody maybe less than 20 times and they're 5, and then think I'm just going to hand them over to you summer? So after my last message, I literally said, I don't understand how people who don't have fathers in their lives can have children and not want to be in the father's life. It's not like I ever asked for a relationship with this man. It's not like I ever asked for money. It's not like I ever just been bitter and just in y'all face. I didn't start thinking about him until Dave started getting close to 5, and I'm like, okay. Or like when I start seeing like, oh yeah, it's time for me to get the right people in my life that love me and my son unconditionally and as if we're one. And so I was able to pray for that. Like I was like, God, send me somebody who loves me, my son unconditionally, and everything that they do, everything that they breathe, everything that they like, everything that they are is only surrounded by you. And the reason I'm telling y'all this is because I want y'all to be witnesses for when it does happen. Y'all can be like, wow, she told us she prayed for it and he delivered. And I told him, I said, it may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen in 3 months. It may not happen in 3 years. But God, I pray that you take this time to, mold me to be the wife that I need to be. You know what I'm saying? The mother that I need to be, the daughter and the sister that I need to be during this time as I continue to grow. And I felt really good about that. And I was just like, everybody keeps saying, ask you shall receive. But if I'm asking, God, cleanse my heart, or God, do this, versus being specific, God, take the anger that I have against my biological father. Take away any doubts that, and I pray for, Daniel's dad's family too. Because I was just like, why not? Like, and I just went down the line like I always do. And then I extended to everybody else. And I was just, I guess my journey now is trying to learn like different ways to pray, so that way my prayers can be more like more a conversation, more like my word plays a little bit better, so it's clear and direct. And then kind of asking myself too, like what do I really want, so yes. And so today, after I go on my walk, I'm gonna do my little workout. And yes, and y'all will be getting another video at 12, and on my second channel. On my main channel, I feel like I have videos, but I didn't edit them yesterday because I was doing all the stuff for my second channel, so y'all can have stuff for the week. And then my main channel, I got some stuff for y'all, but I had a little, like a little epiphany. I'm gonna let some of y'all back in. Don't be showing out now. But what was I finna say? Dang it. Oh, I had an amazing idea, and y'all, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It made, how you just be like, I don't even know. But to me, I feel like it was from God. I had this amazing idea to start something this summer. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't tell you, I should just do it, you know what I'm saying? Because when you speak things, people can pray against it. But I had this amazing idea, and I was able to literally, like, break it down, combine all the aspects that I've been, like, needing, and then looking at what I've been able to do, for my babies. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I felt restricted. So I'm moving in silence. I'm definitely I'm like so excited. Like I'm just sitting here like, I'm just trying to figure out like, I guess how to really like lay it out, but you got to do the work. God literally say like the lazy, you know what I'm saying? You're lazy. Don't be lazy. I said, just a little bit more sleep, a little bit more slumber. All this is in Proverbs, I believe. Yeah, I believe so. I don't like that no comment. Ooh, really? Thank you. But yes, God is great. We was in prison for about 5 minutes. Yes, y'all was. And I was able to really talk, like, and not have to look like, okay, ooh, ooh. You know, and it's only been just a few days that I've been, like, really, like, you know, into, like, God. And it's been, like, well, it's 3 weeks and 1 day now. 3 weeks and 1 day where I kind of just, when I took that step of kind of, like, jumping off the thing, you know, what was normal, what was content for me. And so, yeah. I love the no comments, only being able to focus on you and your message. Thank you. I was... us... Free us! God has someone for you, sis. Yes, I believe he has someone for me. And it can be a friendship. I'm ready, y'all. I'm not talking about relationships and stuff. I'm just ready to become like the full woman of God. And it was just saying, like, you may not have the treasures of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not have the treasures of the world, but they'll have, a lot of them may have inner turmoil. It was y'all, it was so, I was just reading, like, you know, and of course, like, as you taking this leap to God, it's literally like he's going to remove people that you probably didn't know needed to be removed. That's the reason that you need to take that step. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that make sense? So, I was waiting on me on the Prime on live yesterday too. Like, I had messaged, you know, Ferrari, and I had messaged, you know, the manager guy, and they said it was going to get back to me, but, you know, but I didn't sweat it. I was like, when it got around 6 o'clock, and I looked at myself, and I had my bonnet on, and I said, oh, yeah. If they text me by time 6:30 and I'm able to do a little something, and I'm supposed to go on at 8 or whatever, and I tried to go check, but then I didn't know it was like another app. I don't even know. And so I'm sitting here like, all right, well, I told y'all from the beginning, like, even if I, you know, even if not, it's still a great opportunity that they still reached out and they thought of me in general. So, yes. So, yeah, I feel really good. Y'all. Today's going to be a good day. I woke up at 6, and when I said I wanted to close my eyes so bad, oh, my God, I wanted to close my eyes so bad. And I said, girl, get up, say a prayer. And I said a prayer, and then I was able to just sit down, and I was just sitting in the bed. I turned the TV on. I just watched this little interview, like a TD Jakes motivational thing. But I don't know, the beginning was TD Jakes, and then the other people, I don't know who they was, but yes. But I love you guys, and thank y'all for coming. I'm not going back to jail. No, I'm not gonna send y'all back to jail right now, but yeah. So yes, I'm still sending prayers to everybody that's around me. I'm still sending prayers to all my babies, all my, you know what I'm saying, like all my haters, you know, not haters, all my, you know, confused fans. I'm just trying to, you know, walk with God, and normally you want to go the best, you know, the route that's for you. Like, no, you want to go the route that's more safe for you, but you got to have courage, you know, and you got to just take that leap. You got to just take that step. You got to just let it go, y'all. Y'all got to just take that, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing that you know what I'm saying? Study. Learn, you know what I'm saying? Learn about God, apply him to your life, you know, put the work into the businesses that you want to be successful. If you're doing, you know, if you're devoting yourself to God, learning, studying, and speaking for him, about him, you know, and everything you're doing is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just trusting in God, then you're working hard as well, too. You know what I'm saying? You got the two different groups of people. You got the people that look like they got everything, but you don't know what they're going through internally. And you got the people that may not be as big as a Beyonce or something, but you can just see the, you know what I'm saying, the longevity that they have. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can just tell. You can tell. And so some people may be thinking like, oh, I give myself to God, like I'm supposed to just be in a house and like, you know what I'm saying? I want to get a nice house, big mansion, all that. I want to get this, I want to get that. Okay, well, you know you can't get these things. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. You just gotta stop being lazy. You just gotta keep working. You gotta keep grinding, and you gotta give it. You gotta let go. You gotta let go. This grilled chicken, what chicken? Who eat that chicken? I don't want some chicken. So yes, and like I said, y'all, I'm still learning. I'm not sitting here talking about something. I know everything. I know what I'm talking about because you know, it says, you know, don't lean on your own understanding, and you know, what is it? Because I just said it to my mom yesterday. Because she said something on the phone. I said, what? But, you know, she had texted me afterwards. And I said, you know, I'm sorry if what I said came off as negative to you. I was just speaking my truth. You know, what you were saying just seemed, it just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I told her, like, for the people that's calling you right now, like, you know what I'm saying? It says forgive and forget. I was like, but... You know, and she stuck her ground, you know, like, I'm like, you know your worth, like, don't do that to yourself. You know, I don't care how bad, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how bad, like, I don't care how bad you may think, like, well, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, no, I said, you don't need that, like, you don't need that. You just gotta, you know, manifest the life you want. Manifest the life you want. And a lot, B. Simone is a good example. From what I've seen from her, she speaks very highly of her team. She always gives, you know, thanks to God. And, you know, she actually had went, I think she's celibate. You know what I'm saying? I think she's celibate, or she had went celibate. You know what I'm saying? But she did what she was supposed to do. And she did it in, like, was it 50 days? No, it wasn't no 50 days. I gotta look at it again. But she had hit her $1 million, you know. But I don't know, cause she had said like I'm celibate, but I didn't really watch her to know like was this like, you know what I'm saying, like. Yeah. So yeah. But I was like, huh. Oh, and I even we need to go back to jail real quick. It was in 30 days or something. Yes, it was in 30 days. Dang, what was I finna say? But yeah, she was a good example. Cause and then just watching how everything works, she worked hard. She was with her team. She built her team. You know what I'm saying? Like, and her team believed in her. She took every step that she did, you know, following with God. Even in her rap, she mentioned him. You know what I'm saying? You know, so. Why I need to go? What happened? Why? What happened? What y'all talking about? Wait, never mind. Jail time. Y'all want to go back to jail? Pastor Mike Todd on YouTube. I started watching sermons. No, I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that. I'm trying to like find more people to watch. Trey X, Airi. I'm dead. It's okay, y'all. Love you too. I love you too. Stephen Furtick, Pastor John Gray. Oh, y'all gotta send these to me. Let me see. I got my little pen and paper. Stephen, what you said? Stephen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I need glasses. Pretty sure. Mike Todd. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a little listen to. Sarah, Jake's Robert. Okay. Y'all know everybody is free to their opinion, you know? Everybody is free to their opinion. Y'all don't gotta be so hard. It's okay. What makes it worse is it when y'all giving it energy. Like, let them talk, let them get it out, you know? Keep it going. You don't even gotta say, girl, you don't gotta say any of that. Just keep it going. It's okay. Yes, gorgeous, sassy, and you can, like, you just gotta take the steps. You gotta ask for help, and, you know, a blow house. I don't have no backyard. And my mom's backyard is like a whole forest, literally, like, literally. Yes, y'all don't, that don't make sense. Yeah. And it can be hard sometimes to, you know, let go and let God. It can be very difficult. It can have its moments that you're just like, but it's all worth it. And he shows you that it's worth it in such a, you know, once he knows your heart, he knows your pure intentions and stuff, you know? So y'all gotta just, oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart. No, it's okay, y'all. I read what Candy Kane said, and it's okay. If that's what she believes, you know what I'm saying? She's not God, and you know what I'm saying? So that's her personal opinion. And I you know, telling me and us doesn't really, you know, that's something you probably should tell Trey, you know? Like, hey, go to Houston and get you a fresh start, you know? And text him too if you can, you know? Text him too, you know? Do what you can to get your message across, my love. Okay? You do that. Because we all deserve better. We all do. We all deserve to be better versions of ourselves through God. That's what we all deserve. So, my eyes. I'm dead. It's okay. I'm not. You're allowed to have your opinions. That's just what it is. I didn't see no more comments from her. Let me fight that. No. He really does. I have been going through so much that getting close to God and just being positive and removing the negative has helped me a lot to reveal. Yes, yeah, it really will help you reveal a lot. You'll be able to sit back and say, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I have these toxic traits. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you help? You know what I'm saying? Like, how, you know, you'll be able to take the steps. You'll be able to say, God, help me take these away. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to do that. So that's all that matters. I got an eyelash stuck. Me trying to be vegan, but this chicken, no. Where did these trolls come from? The devil? Anybody who goes out their way to spread an unwanted opinion that is full with negativity, I'm pretty sure that reveals a lot about, you know what I'm saying, about them, you know. And all I can do is pray for you and hope that, you know what I'm saying, you see, you know what I'm saying, that is, if you want to get a message across and you really want to change somebody's life, or you really have the best interest of somebody, then you know what I'm saying, you got to know the right, you know. You just got to, what's it called? You have to, because some people don't get it, and y'all got to understand that no matter behind these names, some of these people are literally like little kids. Some of these people are grown-ups. And some, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people in the world don't have God. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not perfect by a long shot. By a long shot. Yes, I'm looking at the other comments. I'm reading what y'all saying. Oh, that would be a good idea. I could do that. But then I would have to do some. I have to do some thorough like if I was Okay. Okay. The app that I'm listening to, people keep asking me the app. I literally just typed in Bible. I just typed in Bible on the Google app, and I just Bible like. And I had looked to see like, okay, does this match up to what this says? Okay, I need to physically give me a Bible. I have one at my mom's house, but I just gotta go over there and do it. I'm gonna have so many requests, and I'm gonna have to really see like, I love being ignored. Who? Why? India? I'm gonna have to. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot. You become one of my favorite YouTubers. Keep going with the positivity. Thank you. What does your shirt say? I don't know. Kicking your butt one step at a time. I don't know. I think that's what it say. Yes, my Bible sends me scriptures, daily scriptures. I pray you have a great day at work. I really do. Yes, you can text me. I need motivation. I'm about to clock into work. It's only a few hours. And if you don't like your job, if you don't have a passion for what you do, when you get home today, sit down, make a list of the things that you like to do and things that you don't like to do. On the list of things that you do like to do, if it's down to I like to cook, you know what I'm saying, I like to watch TV, I like to do this, go and look up, you know, different incomes that you can make from every last thing. You would be surprised. I like to type, start a blog. You know what I'm saying? I like YouTube, but you know what I'm saying, I don't want to show my face. Then you can do what's some things called, the little voiceovers, like stuff like, you know, top 10, you know what I'm saying? I want to do hair, watch some YouTube videos, learn if you got siblings, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Bam. But the thing is, are you going to reply? Yes. I'm going to try my very, very hardest to reply to you. I'm not going to say like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to try my very, very hardest to reply to you. You cut hair? Okay. Wait, is Great Clips hair? Or is that like... Will you leave your number? Your mom and your sister at the same. Daniel, come here. Daniel, come here. Daniel. Come on. Hop on up. We'll get your haircut soon. Calm down. What's wrong? Calm down. What's wrong? What do we say? Express your emotions. What's wrong? Don't let you look. What's wrong? What, you trying to teach her your days of the week? I thought you was going to tell them today. So you going to have another very boring day? Just color all day? No TV, no toys, no outside? Just because you're letting your attitude get in the way? Huh? I thought we talked about this. All you got to do is say 7 words. You can say your numbers. You can say your alphabet. And you don't want to tell her the 7 days of the week? Can you tell me? Why? Wipe your face. Wipe your face. You know your birthday's coming up, right? You don't want it to? Ooh. Anayla! Aaliyah! Can you, somebody turn the air on? They got this house hot. And who keep cutting it off?
Not me.
Dang. Where Nayla at? Y'all, my bad.
You ready?
I'm talking to him.
He looked comfortable, and he just smirked at me. I could see that his face over here.
He hasn't spent the days of the week in 2 days now. He did.
And he literally has been coloring, having a ball by himself. I don't want my tablet.
I wonder where you get that attitude from.
You. That is your son.
Wow, well, okay. I'm finna talk to him.
Put him down.
I'm fit to.
He's a grown man.
I'm about to. Close the door.
Come on, switch on this walk.
I'm fit to.
She about to.
Why do you keep doing that? Do you hear me? Stop doing that. Dang. Supposed to be a team, bro. You can't be doing that. Cause then look, you know what I'm saying? Then you put me in a position where I gotta, express your emotions. If you are frustrated, you need. What did I tell you to do? What did I tell you to do? To leave. Take a deep breath and go back. Okay? Say, excuse me, come, and then go back. Okay? It's days of the week. Alright? If you don't want the tablet and you don't want the toys, let's put it in a bag and go give it to somebody who will. Remember the girls we seen yesterday? Let's go give it to them. Okay? You don't want to do that. So you need to say the days of the week. They only want you to learn. Because if not, you can't do this in school. You cannot. Because I can't come and get you every time you cry. You can make the bed. You can pee standing up now. Good job. You can color inside the lines when you want to. You can play with chalk. You can do hopscotch. You can put on Roblox. Download whatever you want. But you can't say the days of the week.
You said you cannot say what no more game.
I say you can't play any more games if you don't stop with the attitude. You need to calm down. It's not that serious. Okay? So, no, I'm not about to pick you up. Monday, you want a hug? If I give you a hug, will you say your days of the week? I don't just give out my good hugs. Are you going to say the days of the week? I can't hear you. I don't accept. No. I cannot hear you. No. Well, you just woke up, so come on. Come take a nap. Yeah, you must want to take a nap. You don't want to learn. You just want to sit here and stare at me. And you want me to hug you, but you're not even trying to compromise with me. Because I can send you back to Nayla and you'll be in the corner until I come back from my walk. Is that what you want? Are you sure? Because Juliet's supposed to be going home. So you're going to be by yourself. Hello? Hello? Do you hear me? Daniel. Do you hear me talking to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, get up here. I'm in my Bible study and stuff. You coming here on some nonsense. Come on. Hey y'all, my bad. I apologize for that. That was a mommy moment that I had to have. Sunday, look, babe, look. They tell you what the days of the week is. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday. He's okay. He gonna be sitting there. Y'all, he had the most boring. Yes, he didn't have no. He having a blast. No tablet, no nothing. Just coloring. I'm gonna make snow. Ripping up paper. Okay. My live say I got 2 minutes left, so yes. I hope what you guys took away from today is to keep going. Do not give up. You know, fill yourself with some knowledge and, you know, continue to push. You know, continue to pray for those that are in your life. And when people leave your life, do not beg or chase or convince or strategize anybody to stay in your life. If it's a business, if it's a job, if it's a parent, if it's, you know what I'm saying, if it's anything in your life, like if it leaves, it's not supposed to be there, you know. And if you are confused and if you are, you know, you feel lost and you feel like you don't have anybody, there is people there. If you know what I'm saying, if you can't talk to me, you know, because it is a lot of you guys and it's a lot because I'm still learning myself. And if you trying to find people to talk to, there's Jesus apps you can download. And there's Facebook groups. You know, I'm going to probably join a few more today later on when I get a chance. And maybe I can make a video and tell y'all all the different things that, you know, all the different groups that I'm in that maybe you guys can join to kind of have some input. It wouldn't really be like, you know, it's really to learn and ask questions. Like, you know, it's time for new beginnings and forgiveness, guys. Forgiveness. Thank you, Gorgeous Sassy. Bye, Drippy. Cherry All MF and Day. I'm just Airi. Chocolate Tay. Zara R3E. I love you too. Deja06. You can DM me. Lay, peace, love, unity. Yes, so I say I got 14 seconds. I love you guys. Pray, give it to God, and you got this. I'm here for y'all, and I'm going to be going live probably tomorrow or later on today if I get a chance.